This stage is about finding what kind of songs you like and then writing some lyrics and then making a tune and then putting them together and seeing what you end up with.
My heart is aching, filled with emotion. I can't explain the way I feel for him. Life is lonely without you.
The work they've done so far has been great because it's helped them organise their own composition work. So they've had to think about melodies and chords and riffs. Again, they could change groups if they wished or stay in the same groups. The whole class, even some of the difficult children, settle very, very quickly now into a lesson because they know they're being challenged and they will have to produce something by the end of the lesson. It's been much more exciting for them to be let loose and allowed a little bit of leeway to do it on their own rather than saying, this week we're going to do the chorus.
The fact that they had previously had the experiences of learning by listening and copying provided them with a background that they could use to build on.
It's really easy when they leave you to do it by yourself because you think of something, an idea springs to mind and you go on the idea instead of all the teachers going, oh no, you got to do it this way, and that you can do it all by yourself and it just sounds all good.
We had a lot of freedom and we could be very creative, and when you're in school you can't really be creative a lot of the time, so it was nice to just have an hour where we could just chill out and do our own things and just experiment really.
Once they'd been working on their own compositions for 3 or 4 lessons, the Hertfordshire Rock Project musicians came in. The approach the visiting musicians take is the same as that of the classroom teachers, providing a musical model, listening to what the pupils are doing, diagnosing their needs, and making suggestions.
And the way the music is given momentum and drive is by gradually building up the intensity of the groove, and that's something that I sort of tried to do when we were playing this tune.
We've been very impressed by how keen they are just to have a go, and I think you can see the influence of the previous work that's been done in the Musical Futures work. I think it's really ideal if you can leave them to just see what they come up with. I think it's a bit of balancing act between really letting them come up with something and then perhaps going in and trying to give a bit of shape to that. At one point I was trying to teach her 2 new chords and she could play the guitar, but she hadn't played those 2 chords before, so she was having to work very hard to actually get round between those 2 chords.
When I was talking to the girls, we were talking about how we could have the structure of the song with pattern 1 and then we went to pattern 2, and the changes were marked by the drummer, so trying to get them to listen to each other, and actually they played very well in time once they were listening to the drummer who kept the steady beat going. So pattern 1 first of all, okay? So up for 1, 2, 3, 4.
The lyrics, you've got a great sounding bit of music going. Do you want to just now play the verse bit, yeah? And try and work around those ideas you've just come up with and just really kind of sing some out, almost make it up as you're going along. Do you want to play me the sort of a beat now, the actual beat, you play the verse, and then for eight times whatever, and then fit it in, yeah?
When we went to work with the musicians, our group happened to get the drummer of that band, and I'd made up a chorus and a verse to go with our song, but linking them together was a problem with our group, and so he showed me a few beats that helped link the 2 together.
The visiting musicians don't have to be outsiders or even professionals. For example, one school used a band of their own pupils from year 10.
It's one of the things actually that we've noticed in other songwriting things is they put their hearts into it. And it's really what is the marvellous thing about they're doing these sort of workshops is, and I can't think what else they would do in school, that they would really put their heart into the same sort of way. And it's really quite moving to hear it.
It's killing